Hi everybody, my name is Katie. I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons every day since it launched. Today I want to talk about new profiles. Does your character ever get a little bit lonely on their island? There might be a way to fix that. I bet we can create a brand new profile for them to play with. Hooray, we can fix that problem. Now, why would you really want to create a new villager for your island? I'm sure it's not to keep your character from being lonely. The answer is there are two main reasons that I create new profiles. The first is that I want to create somebody that has a unique house or a unique characteristic that can apply to a theme that I'm creating. Let's say I was creating a pirate themed island. I may want to create a pirate or different pirateers on the island in addition to my own character. Maybe you are creating an island with mermaids. You might want to create additional mermaids that you can design. Our villagers are fun for filling in space, but sometimes we want a little more creativity. I also do this when I want a whole town to fill in, when I need more houses. The second reason that we often create new profiles is that we need more space for inventory. I keep two fully upgraded profiles on my island because this gives me the ability to store that many more items on a regular basis. Now that we've talked about why you might want to create a new profile, I want to go in depth and walk you step by step to how you create a new profile. The first example is going to be the regular way for anybody to follow, and the second example is going to be the super cool, really fast way if you do either a lot of trading or if you're really far advanced in your game. The first thing that I'm going to do is identify where I want a new character to go to make sure I'm ready, and I put a lot of items out. Those items will be listed in the description below. The next step is to create the actual profile that you're going to be using for the character. You do this from the home screen of your Switch. You go to Settings, Users, and Add a User. And after you create the user, I usually choose a name that is going to be the same as the name I'm going to give to the character that I'm creating. And that's just because it makes it a lot easier for me to keep track of which player I'm playing and when, because I am going to be playing with this character every time I go in to add items within their house, as well as just when I get ready to actually start the character. You don't need to link your Nintendo account, and I'm going to back up to the screen where you can see the games, and I'm going to open Animal Crossing just like you would usually. You do have to go in this way if you want to start a new profile. You'll go through several opening screens where you'll put your name, birthday, and basic info in, and then you'll start your life on the new island. Introduce yourself to Timmy and Tommy, and they'll take you to be introduced to Tom Nook. He's going to roll through a bunch of language here. You're just going to skip through it really quick. If you've played the game before, you don't need to know any of it, so just slam that B button over and over again. He's going to give you a kit so that you can put your home down for the first time, and then he's going to give you your phone and talk you through how you use it. So again, if you've played the game before, B, just skip through it all. There's nothing in there that you need to worry about selecting, and once you're done, just remember it's time to go put your house down. Select the location that you've already decided on for your town and place your tent. You can imagine it if you need to double check. In this case, I knew exactly where it was going already. Now I'm going to go immediately to the items that were left out by my other character. You see I've left a 99 bell bag as well as all of the tools in the game. And down here I've illustrated one of each fruit that's available in the game. And then I've also buried a fossil in the ground and left one of the new diving suits. Behind my character, you'll see I have a workstation, a dresser, and clothes, and other items for their house. Those are optional. If you're playing with a character that doesn't have online play, or if you don't do a lot of trading, You will have coconuts available from a Nook Mile island, the fruit available from your island, and a one fruit available, it's called a sister fruit, that you'll either get in the mail from your mother or by going to several Nook Mile islands, but you should probably have 3 minimum available to you. I'm going to go through and plant 3 different trees, one of each of these 3 plants that I have available to me. If you have other fruit, then obviously you are going to plant them as well. You'll plant all of the fruit that you have available to you. Every time you plant a new type of fruit on your island, you earn Nook Mile points, and the more trees you plant, the more miles you earn. But for this example, we're going to say you just have those 3. Just for moving to the island, you're automatically going to get your first 500 Nook Mile points. Everyone gets that absolutely just automatically as soon as you create a new profile and move them in. And then here I'm looking at fruit roots, which is the category, and it is showing me I get 100 for the first tree, 200 for the second tree, and then 300 for the third tree. And this goes up and up as you add more trees. The next thing I'm going to do is dig up that fossil. I've put it here just to make demoing easier, but if you need to run around your island and find it, you'll do that too. Digging up any one fossil is also going to gift you with Nook Mile points. That entire category here, Bonafide Bone Finder, is going to give you another 300 Nook Mile points. After I do those basic things, the next thing I'm going to do is run straight to resident services. There are several things in resident services that we're going to do while we're here. The first thing we're going to do is finishing hitting the B button again as we run through all of Tom Nook's language. And then we're going to turn over to the ATM machine here in the corner. As soon as we try to access the Nook Stop machine, Tom will say, "Oh, let me tell you about it." You do a lot of just hitting the B button as you run through these profiles. We've seen it, we know how to use it, you don't need to see it again. As soon as he allows you back over to the machine, you access it for day 1, and that's going to give you 50 more Nook Mile points just for accessing the machine. Then we're going to go in and buy an item, and this is where having that bell money that we dropped available to us right away is useful. You want to buy either 1 or more items that total up to be 5,000 bells or more. And I have the buy here's the top one, so I'm just going to buy that 1 item. And once I back out, that 1 item is going to actually gift us with 2 different categories. So what I'm going to do is pull up my phone. You'll see it's blinking. I'm scrolling down, and the first one here is just going to be for purchasing the first item from the Nook Shopping, which is 300 all by itself. The second one is based on spending 5,000 bells or more, which is a second 300 Nook Mile points. While you're in resident services, hop over to Isabel real quick. I'm going to sit down on the chair in front of Isabel, and she will give you her menu options after a brief introduction to what she does. I'm going to do 2 different things when I'm sitting down in front of this chair. The first, I'm going to ask her to change the town tune. And this can seem like it's weird since you probably have a tune in place that you really love, but you do not have to change the whole thing. Once you access the song, all you need to do is change 1 note, 1 step, which is very easy to put back when you're done doing this, and you get full points for having changed the town tune. The second thing that you're going to do is change the flag, and this is also, you just need to switch to a different pattern, and then as soon as you're done getting the points for it, you'll switch back. I actually had just did a different profile, so I'm switching it back to my original flag that I have in place for this particular theme. Once you have the pattern, even though it's one that's been in place before, you get full points for it again. And these are actually really valuable points. As I pull up the Nook Miles on my phone again, I'm just going to scroll down. You'll see Anora icons. There's these two are together and they are a whopping 500 points apiece. So don't forget, this is a really lucrative step when you're creating new profiles, whether you're putting them on the island or not. The next thing you do as soon as you leave resident services is create a bulletin board post. Same thing, all it needs to do, it can be completely blank if you want, or just put a basic little dot on it and you've created a post. You don't need to spend a lot of time doing it, and you can always delete it later. For that, you'll get another 300 points. The next thing is to head back to your tent and check your mail. There should be two things in there from Nintendo. One is going to be a DIY recipe for the DIY workbench, and then the second will be some type of item that usually comes. I've also picked up a couple extra items that I left from my primary character. I'm walking in the tent. I'm going to open up these two starting boxes, and then I'm going to put two items down. I'm going to put down the double sofa that I left from my other character, and then I'm going to open the mail and put one of those items down as well. I also left a couple items from my other character just in case I needed it, but here I have the Rincon from Nintendo, so I'll put that down too and head out of the tent. As soon as you step out of your tent, you will receive another Nook Mile benefit for having placed at least 5 items down in your tent. And that's all that you need to achieve that one. So I'm quickly going to turn around, and I'm actually going to head straight back into my tent. I'm going to collect the rest of these items. None of them, unless I was doing some type of a campsite build, none of them are interesting or useful for this character and the theme that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to physically pick everything up and head back out of the tent. After leaving your tent, I'm going to take the items that I picked up and I'm going to start dropping them down in front of me. It doesn't matter where you drop them. The intent is that we take at least 10 items and we put them down, or you can take one item and drop it and pick it back up, or if you had 5 items and drop those and pick them back up. Just so long as you are placing an item down 10 times, it doesn't actually matter what that item is. So it's a really quick way to stand in a simple spot, take the items that you already have in your pocket, and get the extra points for them. After collecting the points, you're going to pick the items up and go to Nook's Cranny. With those items in hand, I'm going to finish listening to the spiel for entering, and then I'm going to go straight over to the cupboard. I'm going to purchase anything from this cupboard, but I always choose flowers. I'm going to do 2 sets of 5 so that I have a total of 10 flower seeds. And this is going to allow me to plant those flowers to get more points. I really love any time a single action contributes to points in a couple different ways. It makes this process very straightforward and much faster. After buying the roses, I just turn around here and now I'm going to sell anything from my pocket that I don't intend to use on this character. And again, I left a bunch of things that were for her, so I'm not going to sell those items, but I am going to go through and sell the extra things that came from her tent or that I left for her to pick up and sell at the store when it was time. Doing this is going to give me 2 different points. As soon as I'm done selling the items, you'll hear that little charm sound again, and I'm going to double check. You'll see that I have 2 for buying for the first time, and then 1 for selling for the first time. And again, that's a really good way of getting good points for 1 trip. After collecting these points, I'm going to go find some basic ground where I can plant the flowers. This could even be on the beach if you need to use the space there, but I have some extra land here where I haven't built yet, and I'm going to just stand here and plant over and over until I have all 10 of them down. The nice part is you only have to move once to get that last flower planted. I don't do it on screen here, but you can also use the watering can to turn around and water those plants that you just planted, and that will also give you more Nook Mile points. But I forgot it on this particular pass through. I do get the 300 for planting the flowers, however, and I'm going to step up here and take a quick picture using the app on the camera. And that is a really fast way to get more points. This little gentleman is a second profile that I've created, and he has just placed his tent. You'll notice that the tools I've left for him are the golden tools. It's likely that you have one at this point with the golden water can if you've got a 5-star island, but if not, then you may have some of the others or trade for the others. It depends on how you play and how many people you play with. Perhaps you have a friend who has the golden shovel. Have them make you one, or even just drop it on your island temporarily so that you can pick it up. You'll also notice that I have one of each fruit again, and if you trade a lot or have an online account where you can do swapping with friends or regular systems, then you can utilize those too. I am just going to pick up all these golden tools real fast. That is all that is needed. As soon as you pick up those golden tools, you are going to receive the Golden Miles rewards. Watch these points as they rack up. 300 points just for holding one of them, 500 for holding a second, 1,000, it keeps going, 2,000, 3,000, it's so many points, and then the last one, 5,000 points just for holding the 6th and final golden tool, even if it's a tool that you're not keeping. That's all it takes if you're trying to get up to that 5,000 miles quickly. But I usually want more than just that if I'm going to increase their pocket size, so I'm going to pick up each of these fruit, and I'm also going to plant down one of each fruit type. Again, this would be max if you do a lot of trading and have one of each available to you. So I'm doing a quick tree in place just to show you how the points rack up for planting one of each tree. I'm going to dig up that one fossil because why not? It's such an easy thing to do. While I check my phone one last time, I want to propose that there is an additional reason for creating a new profile, and that is to get more Nook Mile points. Whether you need them to go on a villager hunt, or if you're looking to buy more items from the ATM that are Nook Mile purchased shopping for your island, this is a really fast way to build those points up quickly. My final point total here as I come to the end of all of the tree types, 15,400 Nook Miles just for starting a character. I hope you found something useful here and that you continue creating in this game. Until next time, have the best Animal Crossing day.